Welcome to Eternal Elements Learning Podcast brought to you by Atyasa Online. These podcasts are a part of the audio certificate programs on Atyasa Online. You're free to take these podcasts on your desired portal also, should you only wish to learn on the go. Thank you so much for engaging on these podcasts, and you can connect with the author on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. Welcome back. This is Niket Karasky from Eternal Elements, brought to you by Atyasa Online. We're talking about international business, and we're in season 8. In my earlier podcast, I talked about the interventionist theory. In that, I spoke about mercantilism, and I spoke about the neo-mercantilism. In both the situations, it's all about running export surplus. Export surplus compensated by gold. But Adam Smith, in his theory of absolute advantage, propagated in 1776, the father of the modern economics, said that country's wealth is based on available goods and services for its residents and not gold. Now this is very important. What Adam Smith said is that as long as goods and services are available to people within the country, within the nation and people will prosper. Where did this whole story come from? Adam Smith observed that if there is a cobbler and the cobbler has an absolute advantage in making shoes, and if there is another person who's making bread, and if the person has absolute advantage in making bread, and if they were to trade together, it would be a fascinating trade arrangement. That's the whole theory of absolute advantage. So what is this theory of absolute advantage? It holds that different countries produce different things more efficiently. So different countries are bound to have specialization in specific products, and therefore they make it more efficiently, and people can thus buy them cheaply. And therefore, if import and export is based on this phenomena, that whichever country produces a particular product or a service efficiently, trades with another country which produces another product which is again efficient and inexpensive, both the countries tend to gain. This is fundamental to the theory of absolute advantage, because now you're dealing with the market forces of demand and supply. Now what happens when countries specialize and create an absolute advantage for themselves? Specialization increases efficiency because as you keep producing that product, the skills further improve. That means the labor keeps improving its skills primarily because of the practice. And they can also switch production. That's the important part. And the time is not lost when they're switching production. And it also creates a great incentive for better working methods. Why? Because if the workman knows the best method and keeps refining the methods and the processes, it is fascinating because now the efficiency starts increasing day by day. The theory of absolute advantage propagated by Adam Smith also talks about natural advantage and acquired advantage. Natural advantage in production comes from climatic conditions and natural resources and availability of certain natural labor forces. So this is natural. This is by the nature itself. However, acquired advantage typically comes from either a product or a process technology. That means what happens is this is more towards a manufacturing process. A product technology enables the country to produce unique products, whereas the process is all about creating a unique method, and both of them will again start giving absolute advantage. So what are we discussing in the theory of absolute advantage? Adam Smith said, whatever you specialize in and whatever you're efficient in making, export it. And import whatever you're not good at, because that's how you best utilize the resources of your country. Fascinating thought. Theory of absolute advantage is something which absolutely operates big time in free trade. All free trade agreements are based on this premise, or should ideally be based on this premise, unless political intentions tend to play up. I am going to discuss the theory of comparative advantage in my next podcast, which is also the theory of free trade. Thank you very much. This is Niket Karasky signing off from Eternal Elements, brought to you by Atyasa Online. We're talking about international business and we are attempting to understand the theories of free trade. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next podcast.